In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the consumption overview page. So this is this page here. And to look at this, you click on the words consumption overview, as I've just done. So what is this page really about? Well, rather than showing you how your electricity use changes throughout the day, this page gives you a summary of how much you've used on any particular day. So here, for example, I've put in the date 15th of August. I want to look at one day. It's yesterday, in fact. And what Figure Energy does then is it shows me in one box all the electricity used for that day. So this box here represents all the consumption from yesterday. Within that box then, each separate box represents different types of consumption as I've labelled them. So here, for example, this is my use of the hob to do some cooking. That was 0.8 kilowatt hours. This was me using the kettle. This was dinner. So you can see, for example, from the size of dinner relative to the rest of the box that the electricity I used in the oven at dinner time was about a fifth of my total consumption, and it was 2.8 kilowatts. This symbol here represents the always on consumption. So these are things that are on in the background. It might have been my fridge, my freezer, if I left the internet, the router for the internet on, or if I left a light on, for example. Figure Energy knows what is on all the time and it gives it this symbol. So the always on consumption, things that were just left on in the background, looks like that was a bit less than a third of my total consumption. The question mark here is where Figure Energy recognised some kind of event, but I haven't labelled it yet. So you will have seen question mark boxes in the other, on the graph, the other view. This is one of those question marks that I haven't yet labelled with anything. Okay. The triangle is me, my own label. I wasn't offered one for kids being at home, so I used the triangle for that. For me, the triangle represents when the children are at home, what are they using? I don't know what they're doing in particular, so I'm just going to label it with a triangle. They're at home, they're doing who knows what, and this is what they use. Now, the other thing that Figure Energy allows you to do is to remove any of these types of consumption. So, for example, this was a school holiday, so the kids were at home. What would happen when they weren't at home, say if they were at school on a school day? Well, if I click on the kids' consumption anywhere in this box, Figure Energy takes that particular kind of consumption out. You see kids at home, 3.82 kilowatts. It removes it from the day as if they weren't there and tells me that I would save about 28% of my consumption if the kids weren't there. Clicking on it again puts the kids back in. How about if we didn't actually do any ironing? Let's imagine we decided not to do any ironing. How much would that save? Well, you can't actually see, but it looks as though this would save us about 2%, a small amount of electricity. Put that back in. Now this is the killer. How about the stuff that's always on in the background? The fridge, the freezer, etc. Let's take that out. Okay, that's 32% of our daily consumption, on this day at least. Now this is just showing one day. But we can, let's show 2 days. Let's include the 14th of August as well as the 15th. This has changed it slightly. As you can see, we now have 2 boxes. On the Wednesday the 14th, it looks like we used slightly less electricity than the 15th. This box is slightly smaller. And you can have any number of days you want. You can have 7 days, 8 days, 2 days, 3 days, etc. Let me now just show you one more function. So here, all the consumption is grouped according to what day it was used on. You can also show it according to the type of consumption. And type meaning it would put together all the kettles, all the breakfast, all the washing machines, etc. So let's group by type by clicking up here and see what happens. Right, so now the always on, all the things in the background have been put together, all the kettles have been grouped together, and there's no others that have come up twice. But here we see some grouping. So the kettles, you see, making hot drinks looks as though it uses about maybe 1/6 of the total consumption. Let's check how accurate that is by just getting rid of all the kettles. Let's take them all out and see what happens. Oh, there they go. Okay, so if we stopped making hot drinks using the kettle, we would save about 14% of our consumption altogether. Let's put those back. There we are.